Good evening, everyone. My name is Someshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living Organization to योग वाशिष्ठ इवनिंग सेशन। नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। टुडे वी आर ऑन 152nd सेशन। आज हम लोग 152वें सत्र में यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं। अपने सारे जूम के पार्टिसिपेंट, अपने सारे फेसबुक के व्यूवर्स और अपने सारे यूट्यूब के व्यूवर्स, इन सभी का भी आज के इस सत्र में स्वागत है। I welcome all our Zoom participants, all our Facebook viewers, and all our YouTube viewers to today's session. We'll begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. अपने सत्र की शुरुआत हम लोग 3 बार ओमकार का उच्चारण करके करते हैं। We are into the 7th chapter, the Nirvan Prakaran, the liberation chapter, and in that we are looking the multiple sub chapters here. And there are very beautiful, very fundamental basic questions that Prabhu Ramchandra ji asked to Vaashishtha Muni, and then Vaashishtha Muni goes and answers them. So very, very fundamental, the difference between this real and unreal. How does one behave into this real world? When we talk about this memory, does the Utpatti, the creation of this universe happens, does that memory is involved according to the Shrutis, according to the Shastras? What is the opinion of that? What is the opinion from the perspective of the Yoga Vaashishtha perspective about it? And we will also look at what is the scientific perspective, because something which can help our student, something which can help all the people who would like to enhance their memory, learn the techniques. What is the very, very scientific way to learn the things, no? How to remember things. So that is also, we'll look at it, and we'll also see what is from the Vyavarik, the day-to-day routine life, and the Paramarthik and the spiritual perspective of that, so that it can enhance your perspective in holistic way, complete, no? The complete viewpoint, 360-degree viewpoint. We'll take it about all these things today. And then after that, you are also welcome. What is your opinion about it? What is it that your viewpoint is? What is that you are learning and takeaway you are taking from this session? Or if you have any question, you are welcome to ask that also. So there are multiple things that we'll see today. Let us see how it unfolds, and then we'll do the brainstorm session also in the end. For now, let's all sit comfortably. We'll offer our prayer to the Master, and in his presence, we continue to do this session. Let's sit comfortably. आराम से बैठ जाएं. Spine erect. Shoulders relaxed. Neck straight. Let's take a normal breath in. And let go. Let's take a deep breath in. And exhale completely. Breathe in for the Omkar chanting. Let us invoke the divinity within. Guru का आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम 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 Purnaha Satchidanand Rupoham Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. Let us express our gratitude towards the Guru. Guru Vandana kar le. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let us pray to the Master. Whatever the words that come out of this mouth, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts over onto our mind, and the power of discrimination arises in our intellect. The impressions that might be getting created in our memory, and still there is an iota of that I, me, that dosha. Let all that be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. If you have already realized that this bandhan, this bondage is only around your chitta, your chaitanya, what you are, is already free from this bondage. Then let this remaining life be inspired by the Master alone. Pray like this. Feeling the presence of the Master within and outside, slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो. Jai Gurudev, let's continue with our today's session. Let us see what is the knowledge that unfolds today. So today we are on 133 sub-chapter and we'll continue to cover a couple of chapters today. They're just small chapters but interlinked with each other. So we'll try to cover them. So here Rama asked a question that when we see these Jivan Mukta, the liberated souls, who are their friends? How does they do their work? How does they do their routine things? Who are their real friends in their life? What is it that? So that is where the Vaashishtha start answering those questions. And then Rama continued to ask multiple questions over here, which Vaashishtha, and they are very relevant questions, which probably each one of us have around when we go through this path. Mostly we come across these questions, that all these questions will be answered by Vaashishtha Muni. So let us look at that. How is that? So here, when Rama asks, who is that real friend of such people who are liberated soul? So Vaashishtha Muni tells Rama, that the one which is very near and dear to one, that friend of the liberated one is the Swakarma. Swakarma means their own self purushartha, their own self effort is their real friend. That is what is stands around them all the time. Now this Swakarma, this self-effort, the self-action is also of three types. The first one is the Swapravahi hit. We'll see the meaning of that, don't worry. Swapravahi hit. The second one is Praye hit. And the third one is the Swakarma. So the moment you appear over here, you take that Jiva Bhava, that individual consciousness comes into picture. And according to this Sharira, this Nitya Karma associated with this sharira, this body, that karma is called as pravahehit, means the one which is in a routine that one has to continue to keep doing is the karma that happens along with that. It's called as pravahit. For example, daily we take the bath, daily we go and eat the food, no? All these things, no? Something which is routine to you and you continue to do that, that comes because of your swadharma, of your nature of your body. By nature you do these things, no? They are called as pravahit, means what? According to nature, one according to the flow that you continue to do that, that is the things, no? According to prakriti, you continue to do with the flow along with your body, they come along with you and you do this prapta karma. Then there is another type of karma called prayahit. What is prayahit? That you are here, you stay along with the people around you, no? So according to that samaja, according to the people to which in which these things you live, into this world you live, according to that, yes, supposed to follow some protocol. Following that protocol and doing this social and spiritual and religions and your responsibilities to follow that, whatever the things that you do for the loka sangrartha, for being with the people, you do those karmas, they are called prayahit. And then other than these are the social, religious, all these activities that comes under the prayahit. And the third one is the swakarma, that using your self effort, your purushartha, swaprayatna, your self effort, whatever the study that you do, the related to the sat shastra, the shastra abhyasa, the vichara, the contemplation, satta sangha, being with the truth, being with the company of the good people, and then adopt to shama, peace of mind, dhamma, having a same over your control, titiksha, forbearance, no? Then faith, shraddha, samadhan, contentment, uparati, no? Being experiencing that happiness into small things, no? That is these sampattis, to attain these sampattis, that whatever the effort that one does, that thing is called as swakarma. That is your purushartha, that is what you do. And like in this all the three types, one who does the nishidha shastra, this karma, and that thing not doing that, that is what is called as the real friend, the real mitra, that real friend of the jivan mukta, the liberated one. So like this karma rupi, this like this one who is allowing it to do the purushartha, that friend gives that support, becomes your own support system, just like your father. It's the same swakarma. It becomes like your wife, which allows you to stay in a discipline, in a maryada, in a discipline, like it helps. That helps. It is the same, that it doesn't allow you to go away from your path, no? The path which is not advised to go on that path, it restricts, no? It takes you away, that attention from that away, that thing, and into the, even in the, there is a lot of problems that which comes into your life. Even that point of time, this self effort, this swakarma does not leave you alone. No, it is such a very good friend of the liberated one, and they just completely be with that swakarma, swaprayatna, swa effort, purushartha. They are completely go with them, and like this, by doing this, and even in a worst situation also, this swakarma does not show any anger on you. That is what gives you the peace of mind. No, this is what gives you. And then in all the, even the opposite negative emotions, such as there is a vair, there is some things that happens, some unpleasant experiences that happens, or you go and do into any quarrel that happens around with anybody. Even that point of time, this friend, this real friend, helps you to come out of that. He is already present to it, helps you. Your purushartha, your swakarma helps you. So like this, by keeping this 100% faith of this is like that pearl, this is like that knowledge that is there in this, which does not allow you to deteriorate in any way. It is such a friend that is there, and it is really trustworthy. It is that wealth that one has to be in their life. That is how this Swakarma is there. And then when this is there, that point of time, you need not search for that here and there. It is there with you by birth. This Swakarma, this Swa effort, that Purushartha comes with you. Just like that, along with and fire, the hotness comes along with the pushpa flower, that fragrance comes. Like that, this is there. This is always there along with it, right? So like that. So he says like that, when this is there in your life, and that point of time, it really does all the purification of your, it really makes your intellect smart. It really does the purification of everything. Like that is really good. And this is the Swakarma which may always be there with you. It makes even the by sharing the jokes and by sharing all these things, just like a very intelligent Purusha, the Chatura Purusha, this Sundar Mitra, this really beautiful friend which is there with you. It will also help you to diminish the ignorance in your life, and that is this. Then this is the, then after that, he is also, not only it helps you, but it also allows you to be in such a position where you can go, no, and help others. The words, that kind words that we use for, you use for other people, and make them also uplift into the way you are experiencing that liberation. That is the way it helps you. It also helps you by bringing the discipline, by keeping the all the shandripus, all the kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsya, all the greed, entanglement, anger, all these things. It will stay, make you it will help you to stay away from these things. And because of this, from a spiritual angle, that Paramartha Drishti, this is the real good friend. This is the reason behind it is worth having such a friend along with you. No? So even in such a situation, when there is a unpleasant experiences that comes, that point of time, the one who is having the uttam, the really good shila, that striyakula, like that, it comes and protect you. The one who is the woman who has all the values imbibed her, how does she protect your family? Like that, this mitra, this friend will, this karma, this friend will protect you, and it is like an uttam aushadha. It's like a great medicine for all the things that one goes through in this life. Like this, Vaashishtha, while doing your things, like doing your all the pujas, doing all these things, no, the different things that we follow as our spiritual practices. This Swakarma, this Purushartha also helps you to do all these practices in your life, and because of that only, it gives the santosha, gives the peace of mind to your chitta. It also gives the contentment to you, and that is where it becomes the Shukarma Karta. That is how you becomes the things that you do in your life. You becomes the donor. You becomes do the austerity. No, this all these things. It inspire you to do all these things. Like this Rama, it's very important to have such a mitra, sangati of such a friend in your life, and which will take away all the Vishaya Bhoga, all the Trishna, all the cravings. It will take away from like this Sat Karma Rupa Mitra. Like this is also comes along with the Stri and Putra. Along with that, he comes. So this is where he says that, oh Prabhu, this is where the Rama asks the question: who are their son, or who all Sahachari, who comes along with, who is the one, who is his wife, and all that. He says that, he Rama, this Sat Karma which is there, it is in the form of it when it comes. So it comes along with the wife, and it comes along with the sons also. So which are all those? What is their quality? So that point of time, he says that it comes along with the 4 different wives, 4 different guna dharmas. Along with it brings this Swakarma and this Purushartha. So which is the first one that it comes along with? It brings along with the Mudita. Mudita is the happiness. Mudita, it brings that happiness along with it. Then what it brings? This Satkarma also brings the Samata. it brings the equanimity in your life. Then it also brings the maitri, that friendship, that having an ability to be friendly with everybody. It brings that friendliness also. And then it also brings the satyata. It brings the truthfulness in your life. These are all the four like white or the gunadharmas that comes along with it. This is the swakarma, this is the purushartha, the dharma, the kama, moksha, and yourself for your swaprayatna is such a intelligent and such a good friend that it is worth having such a friend in our life. And this is where he says that, okay, this is where the Rama also asked the things. He says that this now conversation goes ahead, and this is where he explains about the things. So Rama asked one question after going through this. He says that, Rama, in this videha mukti, when the people are in this videha mukti, when the people are died and then they become one with the Chaitanya, into this sansara, that they just become one with that, and they do not they do not have a memory of all such things with them. Like that, they do not come back and take the new life or take the new sharira, new body here. And like that, they also go away from the desha kala, all these boundaries and the concept of kala, etc. That is not there. So they do not have any such memories of all these things. How is that? That is, let me tell you that thing. So how is that? So he basically talks about the memory here, the smriti tattva here. So let us understand what is this memory. So we'll look at this memory from the multiple perspective, because it's something which is very, very important. Also, we have seen it from the perspective of the art of living on the happiness program. We also understood that this is one of the level of our existence. Very important level of our existence is smriti. Smriti means the memory. So let us understand that how do we actually learn. Let us see from the perspective of the medical science perspective, how do we actually learn. So how do we learn? Whenever we see anything first time in our life, we just look at it. Then what happens? You look at it, then someone tells you some knowledge about it. For example, once upon a time, one way will introduce that, okay, this is a tap. And okay, then you look at it, oh, this tap is like this. Then you touch it, you do the sparsha, and then you experience of it. Then through your eyes, you look at it, and then somebody tells you that, okay, this is the tap. And then you again and again you look at it, and then ultimately you remember this. So that remembrance of that thing is called as smriti here, the memory here. Now, how does the medical science perspective, how does it remember? Inside your brain, it formulates the neuron, and the connection of each neuron, so that also gets modified, and using that it formulates something called as neuropeptides and some chemicals it forms in your brain. And like that, the image of this tap or the sparsha, that the knowledge that we get it out of even the touching it. Some people are even just able to touch and then tell what is it. How that is also to sparsha jnana. To the sense of touch, they get that information which is processed by their brain, and when the same thing comes in front of them, then they will say it is the same thing, right? Now, let us understand how does we actually learn the new things in our life. So, what are the sources that we use for learning? At least from a studies perspective, we use the book. We read through the book, right? Then so it has been said that when we read a book, that point of time, whatever you read, around 10% of that, on an average 10% of that we remember. Then this is what is reading, sense of sight, reading. 10% of that we tend to remember. This is a very scientific research that I am sharing with you. Then whatever you hear, around 20% of that 20 to 30% of that you usually remember. Whatever you just read, you remember 10%. Whatever you hear, shravana, you usually remember the 20 to 30% of that. Whatever you read and hear, something which is there in the form of, let's say, the video. So we have seen the vachana, just reading. Then we have seen the audio. Then now let's go on to the video. If you really see something as in the form of video, in which what is coming, the visuals are coming into picture and the audio is also coming into picture together. Now you see something which is in motion, something you tend to remember even more, 50% of such a things. That so that why it's very important for us to see it, and then in the form of video, actual things and talk about it. That is very important, that it enhances your way, the way we understand it. Then it even further enhances when that same thing, that whatever is being you heard, you think, if you do it yourself, you practically experiment it and it becomes your own experience, then it is firmly established. 70 to 80% of such things you tend to remember. So that is how your memory learns the things. So this is very, very important for our students, or even for the professionals, or even for anybody for that matter. It's worth knowing this scientific way of learning the thing, so that when you do your studies next time, this is how it will help you. So this is what is said. See, when I studied, I actually, I'm a postgraduate. I did my MTech from IIT Kanpur. How did I used to study? So in a particular given year, whenever I used to go for the exam, that point of time, whatever the size of the book, I used to just do the recap of that into 1 hour. How does that can happen? When you go through revision, one revision, second revision, third revision, after some time, even if you just slap through it, you will be able to do that. So when I wrote my GATE, probably those who do not know, for GATE, you will have to study all the 4 years, all the subjects. So 9 into 4, all these subjects that you will have to study at a time when you appear for the GATE. So how difficult it would be to study all these subjects at a time, and then you have to go and crack your GATE. So really, so unless you have such techniques, unless you acquire such thing, then it becomes really, really difficult. So it is very good idea, and you're welcome to talk to me, even if you'd like to discuss, if somebody is there who is a student and they would like to do this, then I can even explain this more. Today we have a limitation of time, so I cannot go in details of this. We can sometime can take it offline and can discuss it. So that is the way. This, from a perspective of medical science, we learn the things. So it's always a good idea to go and observe the video instead of just reading it. It's not a substitute. Go and read it also, and if possible, or listen to audiobook of the same knowledge, and if again possible, go ahead and see the video of the same. That will help you. And then if you are able to do it practically, nothing like that, then you will thoroughly understand it. Because of this only in our education system, why the practicals are there. Not that each and everything you will be able to experience practically. Certain things you have to just go and even just adopt and learn out of it. Something which is there, upajat, something which is that comes as a part of DNA to you, and then you know these things. You know that what is it there. Nobody teaches the young one who has just born how to drink the milk of mother. They know it. Upajat, something which is comes as a part of just this DNA, as a part of this species, that memory comes along, and then they know it, how to do it. That smriti comes into it. So this is the smriti, this is the memory that comes from the perspective of science and medical science perspective. How do we learn? Now let us look at this memory from the perspective of art of living. We in the happiness program, we learn about it. It's good idea, if you have not yet done the happiness program, you are listening to this video today and you are not yet done, it's good idea to go ahead and experience the happiness program provided by art of living. So it's a tendency of this memory, it clings on to negativity. If someone gives you 9 compliments and just tell you one improvement that which you can improve, which is good for you, yet your memory will cling onto that, it will over onto that thing only, and that's about it. You tend to lose the relationship, you tend to lose the peace of mind, and it's all revolving around the same thing. So this is a tendency of your memory. So be aware about it and then remove it from your system. It's a wise thing to do, that, okay, turn it around, do that transformation. It is worth doing that transformation in your life. That is an art of living perspective. Now, let us look at what is the perspective of this memory into the spiritual perspective, its importance, and how does this memory can help, and how does this memory can not help also. What are your problems in your life? Most of our problems are in our life is because of this chitta, because of this smriti, because we tend to cling on to negativity. Then you tend to remember something which has bad thing that has happened with you. And then even if the good thing that has happened with you, you say, oh, that good time is not there now, and you tend to suffer. So that also becomes the root cause of your suffering also. No? So understanding this, realizing this, now we needed to work on this memory. So with an effort, try to remember something which is good. Always remember that something which is really good, and put an effort for that. That is where that swa karma, which we just saw, helps us. That purushartha helps us to achieve all this. Sadhana, seva, satsang, being with the company of the good people, listening to the Gurudev and following these teachings. All these things definitely helps us to achieve that state. That is really from that perspective. Now, if you really want to get out of it, you really want to get out of this memory. But is that something? Is that something so easy and something to do? And then why does one has to happen? So when these things are considered, that point of time, Rama asked this question, something related to this creation of the world. He says that, hey Bhagwan, if you see it from the perspective of this creation of this universe, that point of time, it has been written in the Shrutis that this is created according to in the Shrutis, it is written, it is related according to that each and every Brahmanda that this Brahmadev creates, it is based on the Smriti of the last Brahmanda. So he creates it the next time also the same way. That is how he creates. So this is the question, that is that so? Is the question that has been asked by the Rama. Now let us look at the Smriti, the memory, from the perspective of Yoga Vaashishtha here. And why it is being said so, we'll understand that also. So here Vaashishtha Muni explains to the Rama that if you really look at this Smriti, this memory, from the perspective of the creation of this world, in reality this Smriti does not exist in first place. There is nothing called as this memory. It does not exist in this world. Yeah, so if you look at it from the perspective of that, this memory is not there. There is no astitva of this memory. Smriti. Now this is like a bomb. This is like a very rational way of thinking about it. And why there is like this, that is also we'll see. So Vaashishtha Muni explains that if you see this world, and this is also Rama, that if this Brahma itself is an expansion and itself is a Jagat, why there is this focus of this on this thing, that is to be free from that and not focusing on this. It's good idea to just focus on this. Why to then talk about the entire Srishti? Why to then talk about all these different Brahmanas? So all these such many questions that Rama asks, and we'll see what is the reason behind that also, and it's the solution also. Why Vaashishtha Muni is telling like this. So Vaashishtha Muni explained that, look, I told you this earlier also. I'm repeating it back for you, that this world is actually not created. It's just a mithya. It's just illusive words. And when it is created, that Chaitya came into picture, that Chitta come into picture, and in that Chitta, it assumed these things. It has happened like this. And then what happens, how this Smriti is created, how this Sanskara is created, that this Chitta, again and again, it imagines in a same way, same fashion. So automatically it takes the form of that. So for example, my chitta is there, something which does not exist. See, this is all where the Bhranti and the hallucination comes into picture. Many of the psychosomatic diseases that world experiences today is because of such time. They have considered something in their own mind. They are cooking in their own mind, and then for them that becomes real. Even the multiple personality disorder is also something like this only. They have assumed something what they are. They have a very firm understanding about what they are. So some point of time they go into that role and they behave like that. So that is what is multiple personality disorder. So it is that chitta, whatever it thinks, it projects like that. That is what is the reality of this world, and that is what the root cause of this. Hey Rama, in reality, this chitta itself is imaginary one, the one which is created out of it by looking at that again and again, same thing again and again. Whatever is created, that's smriti. That's smriti, and that is even practically also the same smriti is created, right? How does the smriti create? You look at the things, you associate a name with it, that form, and a name with it, and then again and again you go over it, and then ultimately it becomes your permanent memory. If you look at something which is you do not bother, you don't know that. If something which you do not know, you have not seen it, for you the existence of that is not there for you, right? That is how we learn. So we have to do it this. And even when we watch this movie called What the Do We Know, that point of time on the horizon, that ship is there, and no England, that ship is there, but they are not able to see it. Why? Because they never saw it in the past. So even if it is there in your drishti, your chitta is not able to comprehend that. So for your chitta to comprehend that, that same drishya, that same scenery has to come again and again, and somebody has to tell you, okay, this is the ship. Then you will start looking at it. Then it will start visible. Or even though you do not know the name of that, you do not know that this is called ship, yet you'll just get an image of that. But how? That image has to appear again and again, again and again in front of you. So only that memory of that will form. And when the next thing will come in front of you, you'll say that, okay, I have seen this earlier, but I don't know what is the name of that. At least you will come to that thing. And if somebody tells, oh, this is called that, or you will give it a name. That is exactly what is happening with all when we discover the new stars or discover the new planets. We give the name to it. We don't know. We just discover it that this exists and we give it a name. That is what the same process goes on with you. Either somebody tells you what that is, or else you give it a name. That is how your smriti is formed. But here Yoga Vaashishtha Muni is telling that this is all happening just like an swapna, just like an imagination it is happening. The same thing does happen in your swapna also. Where does the smriti exist? In your swapna. Something which comes in your chitta that appears to you in front of you. No? Whatever you can imagine, something which you have never seen in your life, same thing that you can imagine in your swapna also, dream also. Yes, we do that, right? So we have seen, we have experienced that. So where does the smriti is there, and how does that something which you never imagined in your life, if something which you see in your dream, if has to come from smriti, then it has to be only thing what you have seen in your life. But in dream, you see something which is totally, you never ever seen that, you never ever imagined about it. Nobody told you about it. Such a things that chitra vichitra miraculous experiences that one experience in the swapna. So it means that there is no existence of this smriti. There is so that the it's like that there is no existence of this body itself. So where does the existence of brain comes into picture? Where does the existence of that smriti comes into picture? So this is the perspective of Yoga Vaashishtha here, that he says that this jagat, whatever this jagat, this world is a mithya. It's an illusion. It has actually never took place. No. So like this, he said even this Brahma Deva also, he also doesn't have any such smriti. So he just comes and then he imagines this, that this world is like this, and it appears like that. It's not because of anything of the past experience, because when this laya happens, that point of that this Brahmadeva also becomes one with the Chaitanya. So if he becomes one with the Chaitanya, there is no chitta that is left, there is no nothing that is left, it's only one Chaitanya is there. Where does the smriti is there? Smriti is also not there. Even at the level of Brahmadeva also, there is no smriti. It just becomes one with the divinity, Chaitanya. And then once again, when it comes, okay, that Chaitanya expresses itself, it comes. And then whatever it does like that. No? So that is what is the perspective of Yoga Vaashishtha here. Now, how does that help us? Or this perspective? whatever the problems that it comes out of this smriti, because of this smriti, those negative tendencies of the smriti, because of that thing which it clings on to the dukkha, that sorrow that becomes, the moment you come to this reality, the moment you have this as an experience, or this very firm understanding that this world is just an unreal world, just like a dream, moment you wake up to this reality, all these sufferings will, they will just diminish, they will just vanish out of your life. And that is the purpose of this, no, that looking at your memory like this only. And that is not just applicable to memory, it's applicable to all your other 6 levels of your existence, other than your self, other than your chaitanya, it's applicable. So just keep this in mind, and then that will definitely help. So this is like sankalpana matra, like just like an manorajya, this thing, this smriti is there, and that is what is explained here. But if, whatever that dukkha that one experiences in his life, whatever that dukkha which are explained in the shastra, they are not applicable to the atma. The chaitanya is free from this. The chaitanya is completely free from this. This dukkha is not applicable to that. So whatever that once such Brahma Rupa, such a Srishti Chaitanya, the Tattva-jnata, what is it that they say about it? They expresses themselves that this really is not the thing that exists. This is just an Bhranti Rupa. Anyatha, it wouldn't have appeared. Even though it appears like that it's there, in reality this is not there. So because of that, from very firm, concrete perspective about this, how does that is created, how does that next time is created, there is no concrete thing that can be said about it. So this is really chamatkaric. And then there are such things, there are people who experiences such miraculous things, chamatkaric things, and then they even write a grantha on that, they write the even the books on that, their opinion, their experiences, or their kalpanas about it, and then write it, and then people read it, and then they think that this is real. So that is not how it is. Even in that also, all these things which are explained related to the Advaita, related to the Dvaita, the experience that is true, but the real reality of this life is only and only that Advaita, that thing which is that everything else is just a Chaitanya, just thing that one has to, it's all in just Chidakash Surupa. It is like that. All these Bhuvana, Surya, Parvat, all these material things that appears in front of you. In reality, this is just a Kaivalya. It's just that once you have that firm understanding in your life, then you really become free from all the world and its things. That is what is being really beautifully explained over here. Then after that, he also explains what is the objective of this Tattva Jnana. Then that is the point of time the Rama asked the question, and there are multiple questions that he asked, and then he also expresses his concern of that if it is the same Brahman, it's the same Chaitanya, then why there is a negativity, nakaratma bhumika, why there is a negative addressing to the Jagat. It's the same, no? Chaitanya is it's expansion of the Chaitanya itself. Why we have to go and address it from the perspective of that nakaratmak bhumika, the negative attitude towards it. These are very fundamental questions which every person goes through in our life. So let us first look at those multiple questions that Rama asked, and then we'll see what is the solution that has been offered here. So after listening to all this, to calm the mind, that udveg that arise in one's mind, and then he experiences that sukha, that anamba, anubhava, that experience of the happiness. That point of time, this jigyasa is there. That point of time, to calm down that mind, the Rama asked the question to the Vaashishtha. What are those questions? So he says, Bhagwan, if you see it from that, you already explained me, all these universes, they are n number of them. Brahmanda, there are n number of them, and they are there now. It have been there in the past also, and there will be multiple such Brahmanda into the future also. Then in things, this extension of this entire world, that is really, it is aparampar. It is something which is beyond imagination of our mind. like this. And in this Laukika Bhava, this Jagat Bhava, there are certain things which gives you sorrow, there are certain things which give you sukha, and in this Vidyaman Srishti, that is what is an bandhan karak to us, right? This world that is itself creates a bondage for us. Then why we do not just focus on this world alone? We think about it, contemplate about it. Why do we have to think about all these things that you are told about this creation of this world and about all these things and the other Brahmanda? So is it not a good idea just to focus on this? This is the question that he asked. Then other than that, Asankhya Bhuta and all this Vishwa, that anyway do we experience that? We don't experience that. Neither do we experience the bondage of that. We don't experience that. Then why do we have to do, and why does in the Shastra it has been explained in such a detailed manner? What is the objective behind it? That is where the Vaashishtha Muni says, whatever Rama, whatever you are saying, your concern and you are sharing your point across, that is really, really true. But why it is important to go through into the Shastras and do the Vachana, Shravana, Manana, no, listening to it on the contemplation, or the one who are curious, or the one who are mumukshus, or the one who are walking on this path of attaining liberation. For them, this Jagat Shabdartha, this is not the Yathartha knowledge. This is into the form of that, into the Shastra, they have to really understand from the spiritual angle and from the Vyavaharik, from the Laukik Drishta, that point of time. That is true what you are saying, but if you see from the Paramarthik Drishta, from the spiritual angle, that is not true. How? Let me explain you that. So he explained that this something which what we are talking about, this Chaitanya, that thing, the Jagat, this thing which is actually we have done very deep rooted sanskara in you. So if you just think about it and contemplate on it and try to apply it in only seeing it from the perspective of Yavara or the practical reality is what we say, that point of time, you'll again continue to just see that aspect only, which is very limited in nature. And then because of that, even though you probably will resolve some questions here and there, or see it from a perspective of science, you will probably get some answers here and there, yet you will never be able to remove the deep-rooted sukshma sanskaras which is there into your things, your being. Because of that, you are continuously stuck into this vicious life cycle of birth and death. That is something which cannot be addressed unless and until you think. So if you see it from the Tattva Jnana perspective, that thing that I am the Drashta and then I am the Saksha, this, I am taking the experience of that. But the one who is really having this, they have become the Trikala Jnani. They know that Bhuta Bhavishyatas Brahmanda Srishti. They see it from the perspective only Eka Tattva Abhyasa, Eka Rupa. So like this, when Rama, you also become enlightened, you also become Jnani, you also will become this Shruddha, pure Trikala Shruddha, one who is able to have a see of the past, future and present, because for them they have become the Chidakasha. And for the Chidakasha, everything is there. It's beyond the time. No, everything is just there in front of them. That knowledge is there in front of them in the Chidakasha Sarupa. So when you become like that, then for you all these things, Kala will not be there. That will not be, and you will be able to see the real thing as real, as it is, not what this. So this Ati Sukshma Vasna Bija, that the sanskara of this Jagat, which is there firmly on you, you will have to go and remove that. And that cannot happen. Just continue to just study the things which is there as which appears to you. That won't help you. So you have to go deeper with it. You have to study. You have to really go and understand such a knowledge. And this is the knowledge. This is the one knowledge that this entire world is mithya. This is just like a dream. And what I am is that Chaitanya, that is thing. And whatever that answer comes of that, who am I? That neti neti. This is the way of really removing this ignorance out of your life, and that is why it is really, really important. Now this is where the Rama asked him that Bhagavan, that you have already told, no, this Brahma is the Ubhaya. Ubhaya, that means both. It is the Chaitanya also, and it is also the expansion of this world. In this form, it is the same Brahma, only it is the Dvait. So Dvait and Advait, both is nothing but the Brahma, and the Brahma is the thing that is there So like this, because of that, there is no reason for this. So like this, in such a situation, when this why it is being always focused on, when this is mithya and then this is sat and asat, you say both the way. आप बोलते दोनों तबले के ऊपर हाथ बजाते रहते हो, दोनों चीजें बताते हो, ऐसे भी बताते हो. You tell it this like this also, and then you do it like this also. Then why? Then when it is like this, it is such a truth. Then why do in the Shrutis and in the Shastras that is always been addressed in a negative way? Always why it is being said not this, not this, not this. Why this bhumika? Why this aspect is being acquired? That is where the Vaashishtha tells to Rama, hey Rama, this Shuddha Tattva Jnana, this Advaita, that non-duality is the real one which will give you the moksha. It will give you the liberation in your life. From the Tattva Dishta perspective, that Pakshapata, that is what is there. Why I am doing like, why are we focus more on this Tattva Jnana and not on this material one? It is purely because of that, from the Tattva Drishti, one really understand who they are. And then this Dvaita, this duality will automatically diminish. So if you focus on the duality and put an effort to diminish that duality, that will be a much more of effort. And that is not required. That's an unnecessary effort. So the moment you say that you are this Chaitanya, everything else is just a dream, everything is just swapna, unreal world, then that point of time you need not put an effort to destroy it. It will automatically, just that drishtikon, that just that vision is changed, it will destroy, and you will become free from all the things that is bothering you. So that is the prayojana of this Tattva Jnana. This is the real objective of explaining you this, all these things like this. No? So this is what, this is the real meaning behind why one has to do. Achha, there is another reason also. Why this neti? Because anything that you see that I am, and if we say an answer of that as yes, then you already have a very defined concept about it, very defined idea about it, very firm idea about it. What will happen because of that? You are stuck again. You are again stuck in the idea. You are stuck in the concept. And if you really want to be free, we should be free from all the concept in our life. Should free from all the ideas in our life. Because of that, when somebody says that you ask this question, who am I? And whatever the answer comes, all the only one answer that you have to be is not neti. I am Someshwar? No. I'm not just Someshwar. I'm something else also. Am I engineer? Yes, I might be engineer, but I'm not just engineer. Because there are so many other engineers also. So I cannot identify myself only as engineer. I'm something else. So not this. Am I husband? Not this. Am I son? Not this. Any answer, you go answerless. Any answer that comes, you just say not this. So something that will go answerless, something which will just be an experience of that I am. Not even that I is there. No, just be. No? In one of the knowledge go they say just be. Without any identity, not even Chaitanya, not even Atma, Paramatma, Brahma, Shiva, all these names also not there. Just be, what you are. Just that love, just that peace, what you are. Just that Ananda, that Paramananda, that Satchidananda, what you are. You will be able to. Because of that, only this neti, not this principle. Because otherwise, you will get stuck into one particular thing. And this is exactly that has happened. The fools are still even fighting today that this is particular religion is more better, this particular religion is more better. Politicians are utilizing those fools who are around. They have a very limited idea about the things, and they see this is the only thing that is great. This is the only thing that is great. Such fools do not understand that what you are is just that. There is no identity associated with it. Not Brahman. So all these things combines together when the pralaya happens. All these things comes together. Even we say the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Shakti, that Parabrahma is same. And ultimately when all it just become one, it's just the same Chaitanya that remains. What is that you are fighting on? Why you are getting into this duality, this dvandva in your life, something which is good, something which is bad. Now getting into victim consciousness, why you are stuck anywhere, either not this one. I did a mistake, okay, forget about it, it's past, leave it, छोड़ो उसको, बोलते बोलते छोड़ो, leave it behind, let it go, become calm, be with yourself, be what you are. So amazing, so amazing. This is really, really amazing. So that is where, say, at that point of time, he also asked this, when such a kalpana is there, such a sankalpana is there, then he also, Rama asked about the question about the prana. And then he say, according to see with the prana, this prana is the one which comes and helps us to do our movements in our life. Then so by such a sankalpa, if we say that, okay, by things that sankalpa, all these things get, why we're using just a sankalpa, why we are not able to move the mountains around? Such a question that even Rama also doesn't leave behind, because they comes into your mind. So this is the question that has been asked. So he says that in such a things, that why this Srishti, this Parvatadi, this Srishti, this there is there, in that this Samvid is there, the Chetna is there every day. No, so like that. But why it is appearing into something, it appears so jad, or some inertia in that, why it appears like that. So like that, Vaashishtha explained that if you see it from the perspective of that, see, look, take an example of that Lohara. That Smith man is there, and he also has that Bhata, right? That Smith, which continue to put on that fire, no, that vayu, that air to the fire. So in that also it continues to do that thing. But here Rama asked them, okay, that's not happening on its own now. This Lohara does, as it has to pull that stick, and then because of that it's happening. So like that, when the prana is happening like that, who is the one supporter of that prana? So like that he says, so into this prana panda which goes through your all these different like, who is the one who is doing the niyantrana, having the control on it, no? So this is where, and then he also asks Bhagwan that I have that one more question. If we see it from the perspective of this Srishti and this Jagat, this mud is there, this wood is there, this steel is there, iron is there, and how does that is Sat Chetana? You see that that is also Sat Chetana. And if that is Sat Chetana, why it is not moving around? Why it is like that? And why into this their boga, this sadhana, that if we say that, okay, in Sankalpa Chitta you can able to move like that, why we are not able to do any gati to that? Why it's not in a moving condition? But because according to the laws of that nature science comes into picture, that the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be just transformed from one form to another. So that whatever the chabi that you give that to the clock, it will just rotate only for that period of time, it will bang, and after that it will become calm. Like that only in this Thavar Jangam Musta, if something is moving, automatically it will come to an end, it will stop at that point of time. Like that things, why is this things, this there is Jada, and then why what has to do that asangoham, that when the Chetna is there in that also, why we have to do this, and how does, what is the relationship between the Jada and the Chetana? Such a beautiful question. Rama also doesn't leave behind. That is where he asks. Then he says that if just by your ichchas, all the karya siddhi happens. So because of your ichcha, all these things happens. Like that time, if you see it from the perspective between those two of them, like that into this karya siddhi, that what you have to achieve in your life. Why does that karta, that karmendriya, that bahya upakarana, all the external things, that thing comes into picture? And if it comes into picture, what is the use of this? And then again, this deha which is there, it has that oneness with this chaitanya. Then just by doing the ichcha, why the kriya doesn't happen like that? The moment I say that, okay, move this way, why doesn't it move? He asks such multiple questions, and then he asks all these things, and I am really trying to find out the very logical answers of this. So what is the real relation between these two of them? So what is it that experience? What is your experience? Kindly share that to me. Now here Vaashishtha Muni answers that. Before Vaashishtha Muni, what the answer Vaashishtha Muni gives here, let us hear out one more experience here. I was listening to one of the Gurudev's video, and it was an interview, 1 hour interview, very beautiful interview. And in that interviewer asked the question to Gurudev. He says that I have been to your ashram, and he is still in the ashram. That interview has taken place in the ashram. So he says that I have met very multiple people around, and I got to heard about their experiences, and then I also witnessed certain things and really want to understand, because there's something which is very important. I see some of the people, they are tying up like blind, making themselves blind, and they're putting up this strip on their things, and they still are able to recognize the colors. They're still able to read this, because we saw some students who have done the intuition process. Well, this is that intuition process. Kindly tell me, how does that happen? Then he also said that that was at least thing there. I also thought that there was this girl in your ashram, and then she was just sitting around, and she was just looking at the thing, and she could even move the things. She could move the pen. She could move the objects over there. How does that happen? I asked this question to Gurudev, and then Gurudev says that there are certain things which are beyond the comprehension of your limited abilities of your buddhi and your panchendriya. Something which is beyond that. Once you cross this over, once you have an access to that subtle, once you have an access to that inner core of your existence, then such things can happen. And we have seen the references of that in the past also, that Jnaneshwara just puts the hand onto this buffalo's head, and it's able to recite the Vedas. So we have seen the same Jnaneshwara who just offer his body so that the bread can be roasted on his back. We have seen an example that all the four of these brothers, and three brothers and one sister, Muktai, they sit on one of the wall, and they are able to move the wall. How this all is experienced, and there are many such incidences which are explained, but your logical things were never accepted. That it always said that how come, what is it there? And now such things are happening in our own ashrama, and there are people are there, they are witnessing, they are wondering about it. There is no logical explanation. So he said that when you go deeper within and you bring that abilities up, all these things are there. So that is just an addition that I wanted to show, because your mind doesn't accept it so easily. So I wanted to give this as an example. It's happening in this world right now. In this moment, it's all there, which he has experienced. He asked this question, and it's over. That interview is there, open in there. You can always go and see that. So what does Vaashishtha Muni tell? That all these things, now he sees that, he says that now this Rama is completely got into confused state of mind. He is just looking at things only from the perspective of physical aspect of it, not yet go beyond this word. So that is why he says that Rama, all this sarva sandeha, all these doubts which are coming into him, the only and only one answer to that is the because of the ajnana, because the knowledge of tattva jnana is not there. One looks at the life like this, from the drishti like this. So this is where the Vaashishtha Muni says that Rama, this sandeha vritti, means this vritti, that the tendency of the things to doubt on all such things, is purely because of that mula tattva jnana, ajnana about that, ignorance about that. Because of that only things, because in this srishti, all these vastus, all these things that you see, which appears as different over here, and these things, or all the things which appears in the form of chara, the movable, achara, the one non-movable, jada, the one which is there, stava, the chetana, like this is that bheda buddhi is there, that discrimination that you are doing it like that, it is not like that. This world is not like that. I'm telling you again, I'm telling you again that if you see it from the perspective of the Shastra and its Siddhanta, in this Srishti, this vastu, the thing, the matter, that Jada is never ever there. And today what this sentence of Vaashishtha Muni is being discovered by our latest science, and they are saying that there is nothing Jada is there. It's just this entire Srishti, this entire Jagat. The latest research in the science called string theory is now accepting this statement, which Vaashishtha Muni said thousands and thousands of years back, that this world is not, there is nothing solid here. It is just, everything is just Chaitanya. It is just a field of energy. Something which was said that point of time, science is accepting it today. That string theory has discovered that today. So not that until that you have not discovered it, you do not claim that something which you have not experienced is not there. Just say that, okay, there is a possibility, there is an infinite possibility that will open up your doors. That will, anyway, this buddhi is very limited. Anyway, this ability to comprehend things is very limited. It will open up. You will be ready to receive the knowledge. Knowledge is there to be downloaded. It's there in this. Once you go calm and be within, knowledge will dawn in you. It's not just that it comes only by reading and listening. And not that it's not important, it's important, but the real knowledge, that Parashakti knowledge, will come to you in a meditation, in a meditative state of mind. So he said that this, I'm again and again telling you this, that what you are seeing in this, all these things, that in this Jada is not there. This inertia, what it is, just a Chaitanya, just a field of energy. So if you see it from the perspective of like this, then only you will be able to make this your all these questions calm down. That will, you'll experience that samvida, that Chida Swarup Paramatma, that experience of that only will be whatever is appearing in front of you. It is just in the form of that aprakat sthiti. It is appearing, it is just in the form of swapna and sankalpa rutti. It's only there. In reality, this is not there. In the Vartaman Kal also, if this Srishti, this world is appearing to you from the Paramarth Drishti, it is just Samvimay, Chedan, just Anumay. It is like that. And in all these the different Sukha Dukkha, that you, it appears like that into that Swarupa Karana Bhanti. This only, this illusion, this Bhanti is only the root cause of that. Once that is there, because of this Rama, you go ahead and follow that Tattva Vitta who has adopted the Shama, peace of mind, Dhamma, having say over your control, Vivek, the power of discrimination, Vairagya, dispassion, Tyaga, living behind, Chodo Sakuch, leave it behind, Manana, contemplation, Nididhyasa, practicing it again, etc. All this prayatna, all this purushartha, this self-effort, that this is the real sadhana sampatti. And one has to really Atmasat, one has to really bring that in your life. That point of time, all these things, you have to put that effort in your life, bring it in your life, all these things, then only all these other things that is there will be able to understand that reality. Otherwise, there is no other way. You will be stuck into only this world and this worldly matter and all the questions related to this worldly matter. No matter, you will achieve some degrees, you'll achieve some siddhis and all that, but you will not make yourself free. That moksha, that mukti, that liberation will not come to you. He says that in this murta kala, this stool and vastu, this something which is inertia, which is there in that, do not get stuck into this. That sanskara, that smriti, that thing, you really get out of that smriti, this different levels of existence, and in that ati sukshma vasana, that craving which is there in the form of sanskara. Everything that you see, this Swarga, this heaven, this Prithvi, this earth, mountains, Pashana, rivers, Disha, etc. Everything is just in your Antakarna. All these Bhutas, Panchamahabhutas, Aprattigin Chetan. That is what you make this as your understanding, make this as your experience. And that is where he now tells that once upon a time I told in the Utpatti Prakarana, I told you a story of Induputra. How does the Induputra actually takes the form of because of their Swaprayatna? I'm bringing that thing today once again, but it will be very short for you just to understand that how this is just a Chinmatra that will probably help you just remind that thing. And that is something which is tells the story. It's a very short story, I'll tell you, very in a short manner, I'll tell you that what is this story, that once upon a time there used to be this Brahmana called Indu. And he was following all the rituals properly. But one fine day, because of the old age, he is no more, he dies. And then looking at that, even his wife also died. Now all these 10 sons of this Hindu, what they do, they go into the aranya, into the forest, and identify a cave for them. And then they sit in a Padmasana and they start doing a meditation. Now their contemplation is like that. They want to be the creator of this world. So like this 18 months pass. In these 18 months, their body is completely no more there. They are just in the form of that Chitta Akasha. And in that Chitta Akasha, into the Chitta itself, they again and again contemplate on the same thing, that I am the Brahma, I am the creator of this, I will create this world. And it is being said that these are the 10 different Brahmanas, exactly just like the Brahma, they create and they become the Brahma Deva of that Brahmanda, and they remain over there. But if you look at it from the perspective, is anything physical there? Nothing. Their own body itself is not there. It is just in the Chitta Akasha that is there. And that 10 Brahmanda, that Brahmadev sees, it is where? Just in the Chitta Akasha. Does that there? So what is it that even there, that Anu? So that is where Vaashishtha tells that even those Chitta Akasha, it is just Chitta Akasha Swarup. It is just Chaitanya Swarup. Nothing else is there. There is no physical creation that has actually happened. It is just the same Chaitanya which is appearing in all these forms only. So that is what the Rama, this is the truth. You open up to this reality, open up to this truth. So if you see that all this Sahasra, so many Brahmandas, the real thing, that the crust of these things is that Chit. It is that Chaitanya. And one has to really go into that. So he says that how does it, once the if you put one diya, one lamp, then the one shadow will happen of that. No? But if you put the multiple diyas, how does that shadow will disappear? So it is like that. The moment you wake up to this reality, all these different shadows that you see around, it's of the same Chaitanya. It will just, you will see it's one. It is just that Sanmatra, that Stambharupa, Sthir, and then you will become Sthir, you will become Aja, Maun, you will become silent, you will become Vikalpa Shunya. They will not be the wanting to do this and wanting to do that. Because this wanting to do itself is again biggest obstacle to experience yourself. No, it makes you stuck into out it. Sankalpa, Vikalpa, want to do this, want to do that. No, all these things. So they give this golden rule. I do not want anything. I want nothing right now. I'm doing nothing. I want nothing, and I'm nothing. Because these three things will put an obstacle for you to experience yourself. So Vaashishtha Muni says that you will become Vikalpa Shunya in that thing, that this is what is there. And other than that, whatever you think about all this, you are thinking about all these things, it's not even worth answering them. Forget about it. If you think about all these vishayas, there is no end to it. It will just keep you, make you stuck into all these things. Either vishayas, it's not even worth talking about. Just forget about it. Just focus on this thing which I am telling you. So amazing. So amazing. Yeah, this is really, really amazing. I'd like to take a pause here. I'd like to hand over this session to you, all of you. You are welcome to unmute yourself, and you are welcome to express yourself about this. If you have any question, you are welcome to even ask that also. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev. Yeah, anybody wants to express themselves about today's topic, you are welcome to do that. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask that also. How Maji बोलिए?
हाँ भैया, आज का तो बहुत डीप नॉलेज था. It was little bit tough to understand. What everything you are saying that.
Listen to it again and again. It's recorded, so
Okay.
Listen to it. It's worth your time. Listen to this again and again, because इसके अलावा और कोई वर्थ नहीं है जिंदगी में. हम लोग कितना समय दे देते हैं ना एक छोटी सी PhD लेने के लिए. 25 years of our life we put together just to achieve one degree, PhD, one knowledge. This is something supreme. Give it a time. It's worth your time, and it's okay. And do ask questions. See, Rama is asking question. Rama is Lord Rama for us. He doesn't hesitate to ask question. He doesn't feel what he is sitting in a darbara where all the top-notch people, all the sadhus, sangatis, his own father, everybody is sitting. He have no hesitation. Even we are in the Nirvan Prakaran. Look at the kind of question that he asked. Do not hesitate to ask question. If something is not understood, feel free to ask, and we can discuss it. And it's not that only I will give answer. Anybody, each one of you are welcome to give an answer to the question. It is your opinion about it. Forget about it.
If
It is
it is,
good.
if it is illusion, if it is not anything here, what is the effort that any person need to give in his personal life? What is the thing?
Hmm.
How
So,
can we left our life like that?
So very good question. So see, if we are not asking you to drop your actions. Can you
Yeah.
drop your can you drop going to the urinate or go to the toilet or stop eating the food? Can we do all that? Actions
No.
not supposed to be stopped, right? You do your actions, you do your kartavya, whatever the prarabdha karma is there, according to whatever is there, because the past karma is there with you, baggage is there with you. According to that, you have to go through that, fruits of that bhoga you have to bhoga. Finish it off by going through it, but do not form any new karmas. Do not
How
form
can
any.
it's not in our hands, no?
It is there.
You have to react with some persons if you
No,
are
no,
coming.
it is there with you. See, that is what happens. When does the karma gets formed? When you allow the impression of that thing form on you. It could be because of your own action or inaction. It could be because of other person's action or their inaction. It could be because of the vastu, the matter. For example, there is a car and there is a scratch that you saw. Now there is no other person there, but yet you have an impression about that. Oh, my car! Look at my car. Somebody made a scratch, and then you, as if there is a scratch that has been there in your hand. Now, how do you feel? See, that is what is the impression. That is what is your karma. That is what the karma becomes. The impression of the things that you allow to happen on you is your karma. And then you have to, with practice, that is where the purushartha is required. Oh, you ask now, what is the purushartha that one has to do? What is the self-effort that one has to do? In this day-to-day routine life, we have to go and study. We have to earn for this. Nobody will come and feed you. You have to go and earn. So for doing all that, always doing all the nautaki, continue to do that. Nobody is asking you to leave your job or nothing. No, there is not. That's not required. But just be focused on this. That don't get entangled into it. Look at that. This is not truth. This is not a real thing. There is this just like a dream. So what will happen because of that? You'll be, whatever the suffering that you experience now, that suffering will diminish and you'll be able to do the same thing with entrupti. It's not to achieve something, not achieve some bigger goal. You know that you already have it. So then your actions will be only towards with your 100%. Nothing will pull you back. That is what will happen. Continue to do whatever you want to do it, but with in full contentment, not to achieve something in your life. It's a practice. It will happen. Fantastic. Anybody else wants to express themselves? Yeah.
Yes. What is the Purushartha of a liberal person?
What is the Purushartha of the liberated souls? No? So it is their things, how do they behave? What is it that they do in their life? If we look at it, so essentially, let us first understand what is the Purushartha. Not for the liberated and not for the non-liberated, for everybody. What is it by Purushartha? So Gurudev explains Purushartha as 4 things. What is 4 things? The first was this dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. This consolidates together, becomes your purushartha. So what is the dharma here? Dharma is not religious activities. That's not called dharma. Dharma is that, suppose if you are playing a role of a teacher, you are a teacher in your school. What is your dharma? Your dharma is to go and teach. You are a teacher. Your dharma. That's your kartavya. It's your duty. That becomes your dharma. If somebody is a student, what is the dharma of a student? Is to study. When the same student goes and comes into the grihastha, what is the dharma there? Is to do their earnings and do the things and then take care of the family. That becomes your dharma. Or if you are a sannyasi, doing what? That becomes your dharma. So that is what is dharma. Now it is the second one is the earth. What is earth here? If to achieve your dharma, to fulfill your dharma, do your efforts. Put your efforts. So if that means go and earn, supposedly Sangeeta ji, the Guru Puja Pandit, you all come and perform the Guru Puja over here, right? Now, if it requires flower and the shriphal and a diya and all that, where will that come? Will it come in the sky, from the sky? No, you have to earn money to buy that from the market. Nobody will give you just like that. You have to, or even if you go into the jungle and get it for you, walk on, climb on that tree, that also requires an effort. That effort is your earth. Any effort to fulfill your dharma, that effort is your earth. It can also include money, earning that, putting that effort. Then why do we need to do the dharma and artha? Obviously, there will be some kama. Kama means not lust here. No, kama means that kamana. Something that all the some goals will be there. No, your wish list will be there. Goals will be there. Somebody wants to be an study in IT. Somebody wants to go and become a businessman. Somebody wants to become an IPS officer, IS officer. These are all kamanas. Is it bad to have such kamanas? No, there is nothing bad in this. What you can do if you really want to achieve it faster and make an assurance of achievement of that, associate that kamana with a bigger goal. Say, I want to become an IAS officer, not to get money, not to get, there's nothing wrong in earning money, again, I'm telling you. But your intention should not be to get so much of money. So to earn money, even if I have to do the Bhrashtachar corruption, I do that. Then it's hopeless. Then you lost the bus. You miss the bus. I want to become an IAS officer. I want to study in IIT. I want to become scientist so that my skills will be useful to the world. I want to be useful to the world. That is what is the kamana. That such a kamana, have such kamana, but do not get entangled and stuck into this. How the ultimate goal in your life is something moksha. You are here to be free. You are into this human body to be free. How that as a topmost ultimate. So doing everything else in your life, always never ever forget your topmost goal. This is the topmost priority for you. So do that and then do everything else. Fine. And putting together this dharma, artha, kam and moksha, putting together becomes your purushartha. And then that sees the same purushartha for the one who is free and the one who is not free. What will be the difference between them? Here, the one who is already free, he will go and uplift other individual. He'll pass on this knowledge. He will share this knowledge to you. He will not keep it with himself. Look at Gurudev. Does Gurudev keep it that knowledge with himself? He has opened up the knowledge to everybody in the world, any religion, anything. He's saying, take this. I am there. Because that's my nature. That is how the Jivan Mukta, that is how the free souls are. They are there to share their knowledge, prem, ananda, shanti. They spread it. But the ignorant one, they are doing their purushartha, but is very probably focused on it. But once we have realized this, once you understood it, transform that. That is what the drishtikon is. That if there the transformation will happen. And once you also start walking on that, you are also be free. You are also free then. That moment you'll become free. You'll experience that moksha in your life. You'll be able to smile in every situation of your life. That is what the experience that one experiences in life. Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Sangeeta ji is also there with us. Sangeeta ji, would you like to express yourself? Kindly go.
Hello, Jai Gurudev. So it was actually a very beautiful session, I really tell you. And the main thing, coming back to the point, actually, it is like as in your Vaashishtha, first itself it is said, this world has appeared just exactly as you saying, a crow comes and sits on a coconut tree and the coconut falls. So that is the main thing. So in that way itself, there is no relation to that. A crow comes and sits on a coconut tree and a coconut falls. So there is no relation. In that way itself, there is no relation actually what we are seeing, how the world is formed and the appearance of that and anything like that. So it is just there. And when you go beyond this, that is that void which you get, you feel that void and you experience that you are. That's it. That is only when you go beyond all this, what we have seen today. And it is that infinite consciousness alone that shines here as a world. So it is again that consciousness itself that is shining as the world. In reality, there is neither world nor void, not even consciousness. So it is that no thing, that is that even that space which you can see also, means nothing is there, so no thing, that is what it is. And that only when you experience, the whole thing is going around that only. Rama asking the questions and Vaashishtha Muni answering them. And we also go on experiencing actually that thing, that what we have to experience. So that is what I got the gist just in 2 minutes. What I would like to share is this only. Okay, just there is nothing. And then the dreams are there, no? Just as you are in a waking state, you are in the sleeping. See, when you're sleeping and you're seeing a dream, that sleep is not disturbed to you, but you are seeing the dream in the sleep, isn't it? Nothing is being disturbed. So just as you are here, that world is appearing to you, it's not disturbing, you're just going in that sleep and you're dreaming. So that awareness, that awakeningness, that is that which you have to come up to and you have to experience. And that I am, which you said, it is wonderful, that ultimately thou that art, that comes to you, that be, just be in that. That is wonderful. And when you experience that, it is so amazing. Then I really tell you, it's totally a different feeling what you can get. Yeah, you go beyond the feeling. There's no feeling, there's no emotion. Just now we saw it is only that love that you can experience when you go beyond that. So it's very beautiful. And Rama asking the questions, it means it is actually coming up from our own this only. And Vaashishtha Muni answering them also, it's just the answer that we really want. And and everything is just done, in that way. It's beautiful. There are many more takeaways also which I can say. One of them is that the thinking about yourself, that memory which we saw, even that is very good. So every time when we come out from that memory, it is that other day that I was sharing it with Someshwarji. Everything is here, stored here in that memory. Just as a small child, you just see a dog barking at, howls at you. And then what happens? That image is stored here. So what happens whenever you see the dog, you have that experience again and again. So in that, they say ki you form a pattern. And suppose if it is like this. So every time the water which falls, what will happen? It will go in that way only. That is how it is formed in our conscious, in our brain. That is that memory which we get. So every time we have that same experience. So we are not creating anything new, but we are living the life of that memory only. Every time somebody will say, anger will come. Everything, this will happen, so it happens in this way only. So that flowing of that water comes in this pattern only. So those patterns are formed and those neuropeptides are done it in that way only. Now what happens? We are going that way only. So there are nothing, actually there is nothing, But then what happens when you have that understanding and that awareness in you, then you can recreate it. So that is what it is. Going through this yoga process helps you to recreate that patterns which are there. So you can rub that and you can have something good ones. So that is what also it is. So it's a good thing to be, in this knowledge, in that self-awareness, taking your lamp along and going ahead. And with all the answers getting to you, you can apply them and still go ahead into that. First, you have to do something, right? Then you have to leave everything. Even that is there. So both the ways, it's okay. So thank you, Someshwarji, really, once again, for making it so easy for us to understand. I can see that that efforts you have been taking to present it to us, it's that way. So really grateful to you for sharing this knowledge with us, and of course taking us ahead with you. So thank you. Jai Gurudev. Over to you.
Jai Guru Sangeeta ji. So it's same like no Gurudev says, it's you be the loudspeaker. जो बोलना है वो हम लोग बोल देंगे. यही हो जाता है जब वही प्रार्थना करके यहाँ पे बैठते हैं. तो जो वशिष्ठ मुनि को बोलना है वशिष्ठ मुनि बोलते हैं, और जो गुरुदेव को बोलना है गुरुदेव बोलते हैं. हम लोग बस अपना ऐसे ऐसे करते हैं, तो जो उधर से निकलता है. So it's just one source that it is coming, and even all the people who all come here, all our friends, they all come, they are also same Swarupa only. They are also all sense only. See, it's not otherwise possible. How many people do come? How many people take out a time to come here and listen to this? They are also the same. They are just coming here just to support it, just to form that Sangha. So that is the beauty of it. With that note, we'll conclude today's session so that we can meet tomorrow. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you. Jai Gurudev.